I'll continue the feature on cacti and succulents with some footage from elsewhere. And these are plants that maintain basically the same appearance throughout the year, staying quite green usually, as the case is with this Yucca rupicola. This is the twist leaf yucca. This is a very common yucca in the hill country. It does have a little difficulty reproducing because often the flower stalk is eaten by the deer. It is a very worthwhile plant to use in the landscape and very easy to propagate actually. The roots are easy to plant and start new plants from. Fortunately, it is a very tenacious plant and has a long lifespan, so we still have quite a few of these throughout the area. But again, like I say, it may be having difficulty reproducing because of the predation from the deer. The flower stalk, if it's not eaten, is quite spectacular when it blooms, sending up a very tall panicle of flowers. The white flowers are very attractive. So this is the twist leaf yucca. Another twist leaf yucca that is a little more twisty. Some are more twisted than others. And another. This is the native Buckley yucca. These grow all the way over to the escarpment in a few places, and the flower stalk is amazing. It's very tall and quite spectacular. The plants themselves can develop small trunks. This is a common prickly pear cactus in the hill country, Opuntia engelmannii. You can see the yellowish spines on this species. The spines are even easier to see with backlighting, as in this example. This is sometimes referred to as, in some of the older literature anyway, as Opuntia lindheimeri, and you can also find it as Opuntia engelmannii variety lindheimeri. Here's another. This one has really large pads. Look at the size of that. Sometimes you'll see prickly pears growing, I guess you could say, as an air plant almost, like some of the air plants that grow in tropical forests. This one is growing on the roof of an abandoned structure. It looks like some of the leaves from the oak tree above it have collected on the roof, and the prickly pear is quite happy there. Here are some native hill country cacti. You may think, where are they? This is a lot of rock scattered around, but if you'll look closely, you'll see Echinocereus Reichenbachii. These have amazingly wonderful pink flowers when they flower. These are in the winter here. Some of them have died, like this one, but this is quite a little colony here. Here's some young ones. Some more over here. And over here's one that's branching. And another Pear. So if you have any rocky areas like this, look around, because you may have some of these native cacti, and they're definitely worth preserving. You can also see some prickly pear fruit here that are hanging on in the winter. And then the little Echinocerius. This is red yucca in the winter, Hesperalo parviflora. Here's Agave stricta. This plant is about 3 feet high and the leaves are very sharp on the tips. Agave stricta. This is one of the trunked yuccas, probably Yucca thomsoniana. Unfortunately, these are often dug in the wild out in West Texas. This is Succulents, one of my favorite plants, native to Texas, and also called the Texas Nolina, Nolina texana, also called devil's shoestring or beargrass. And this is a very harmless xeric plant. These leaves are very sort of tubular. They have a three-angled shape, but they're not really sharp in any way, so it's a nice plant to have around, and one that's not dangerous to be around. Succulents. This is Lindheimer Nolina, Nolina lindheimeri, and it's one of the plants named for the German botanist Mr. Lindheimer, who settled in New Braunfels. This Nolina has a little bit flatter leaf than the Texas Nolina. And here it is in its natural habitat here in the hill country. A wonderful evergreen xeric plant. Here we have a clump of lechuguilla, Agave lechuguilla, or also known as shin-dagger. These are characteristic of the Chihuahuan Desert in West Texas, New Mexico, and Mexico. It's about 18 inches high, and the plant will slowly spread, but not to the extent that some of the agaves do. Lechuguilla. And this is one of the agaves, one of my favorite agaves, called Agave Mitas. The older name is Agave Celsii, but correctly it's called Agave Mitas these days. The leaves on this one tend to sort of fold over depending on the amount of sun and moisture that it gets. But I've had this one many years, and there's another one right there. And the hectia next to that. Agave Mitas. A very nice green color. This is one of the barrel cacti, Echinocactus platycanthus. I've had this one in my Wimberley Garden Zone 8B for many years now. It's only 7 inches tall and about 8 inches wide. but they can grow over 6 feet high. Takes a long time for that to happen, though. This is a native to Mexico. I've had good luck with this compared to some of the other larger cacti. It's a little bit hard to find, and it's also known by different names. Bisnagia is one of the older names used for this, but the proper name, at least right now, is Echinocactus platycanthus, one of the barrel cacti.